partido ante el Atlético de Madrid y qué ambiente o qué atmósfera esperáis encontraros en Mestalla.
I expect the atmosphere to be what it has been for all our matches, amazing. When I think of the atmosphere, particularly against Real Madrid and Barcelona, in those two big matches, they were absolutely fantastic. The fans were incredible, spine-tingling in their support for the team. But I think for me, forget the big matches against Barcelona and Real Madrid. The atmosphere against Espanyol, when we went one goal down, will stick with me for a long time. In a difficult moment for the team, the fans this day were absolutely incredible. And I think even against Bilbao, when we conceded the goals, the fans were still with the team and still with us. So, no, I think it's been obviously difficult. There's been difficult moments in this last couple of months, but the fans have been a great strength, particularly in the Mestalla. And I expect tomorrow night it to be a fantastic atmosphere, and I want, as do the players, a performance to match the atmosphere and the passion of the fans.
Hola, aquí Chema, de Sport y de Taller Deportivo. Dos preguntitas cortas, una más táctica. ¿Cómo encajar, o si le gusta cómo está encajando ese centro de campo con Enzo, con Parejo y con André? Y si tiene previsto hacer algún cambio para mañana, después le hago la otra.
We obviously haven't named the team to the players yet, but I think that now we have the options in midfield. With Javi returning, Enzo is now Enzo's fit. The impact injury that he got last week is now cleared, so he's fit for tomorrow. So this morning we have 5-6 midfield players to choose from. It gives us good options, and I think that now it affords us to be able to play any of the three. I think previously, in the previous months, we are obviously in a position where sometimes we never had the midfield players fit to play. So I'm happy. I think that you saw a fantastic performance from the midfield on Wednesday night. I thought Avi Fuego coming back in did very, very well. And tomorrow I will decide about which three will play, but there won't be big changes. I think that it's an important week for us that we have consistency. I think that we're happy after the win against Malaga. It was an important win and the midfield played a big part in that game.
Y la otra es sobre, ya le pregunté sobre su futuro el sábado pasado. Apareció una información en el Daily Mirror que asegura que hay encima de la mesa un ofrecimiento de un contrato por 2 temporadas más. ¿Eso es verdad?
No, it is absolutely not true. Absolutely not true. And you have to believe me on that. I've not spoken to the club at all about next season. And I think it would be wrong at this moment in time to do so. It doesn't feel like the right moment. I know when I said, when I came, I think in December, I said maybe February, March we would have discussions, but I think because of what's happened in this last 2 or 3 months, we've improved enormously in this last 2 or 3 weeks, with the players obviously returning and the victory against Espanyol give us lots of confidence. But I think we have a long way to go. And the reports in the Daily Mirror is a big newspaper in England. The journalist that wrote the story is a respected journalist. I have no idea where he got that story from. It is absolutely false, not true, made up. There is no contract offer on the table to Gary Neville. There's been no discussions between me and the club at this stage. And I think so that I don't have to answer this question every single week, I think the sensible time now would probably be in the first week in April. I know that's putting deadlines on it. But really at this moment in time we have such an important programme leading up to the next 2 weeks that it doesn't seem sensible for us to discuss this at this moment. It seems sensible to push it back and hope that we can continue to improve and get results, and that's the most important thing. But the stories are absolutely untrue.
Buenos días, Mister Pablo Medrano de Deportes 4. El Atlético de Madrid aún no ha renunciado a ganar la Liga. Viene a por todas a Mestalla. ¿En su opinión es favorito para el partido de mañana o no?
I've not seen the odds from the bookmakers. Obviously, they've been a fantastic team now for the last 2 or 3 seasons. Maybe the bookmakers will make them favourites for the game. Maybe they will think they're favourites themselves. That's obviously something that we can't do anything about. All I know is that the Mestalla is a very difficult place to play for all teams, but also for Atlético Madrid. and tomorrow night I'm sure that they will prepare for a very difficult game as we are, and you have to make sure that what we saw, I think, in the last half an hour against Malaga, that fighting spirit, that commitment, the ability to defend the box like we did, we'll have to do that in moments tomorrow night, and we'll have to be very concentrated. But I thought on Wednesday night it was probably the best 25-30 minutes of resilience and defending that I've seen since I came to the club. We really were fantastic at the back and in midfield. We put our bodies on the line, we did what we had to do to get the result, and that's what I expect every single game now, because they set a standard on Wednesday night against Malaga in respect of defending and heading the ball and getting clearances and defending one-on-one and doing the right things. I think we need to be good tomorrow night in this area as well, because obviously Atlético Madrid are a team that do put you under pressure, but we have to play our own game but match our resilience from the game against Malaga. But we're confident about tomorrow night. We should be. We're in the Mestalla, which is a fantastic stadium with our fans behind us, and we need to make sure we give our all, but also make sure we play our football as well.
Hola, mister, ¿qué tal? Luis Cortés de Gestiona Radio Valencia y El Desmarque. Yo le quería preguntar por Bacali, por cómo está el jugador, si finalmente se va a operar, si se va a perder la temporada, si ya está aquí de vuelta a Valencia, cómo fue su marcha a Bélgica para que lo vean los doctores y eso, cómo está el jugador en general. Gracias.
I haven't seen him this morning, but I've obviously spoken to the doctor about him. The situation with Bacca is he saw a specialist in Belgium yesterday, as you're aware. He will see a specialist on Monday. I'm not going to tell you where, because you'll be waiting for him. And he'll also see a specialist, I think, later on in the week. So we'll have 3 opinions on him, I think. 2, but maybe 3. 2 definitely. And when we have all the opinions, we will sit down as a medical team with myself, with the player, and probably as well with the surgeons, and just make a decision which is best for the player. But at this moment in time, we're in the middle of the medical process of him seeing the specialist. He saw one yesterday, he'll see one on Monday. I think he might see one at the end, at middle to end of next week as well, but I'm not sure on that. But I think after this we'll know. So when I do my press conference before the game against Bilbao, I should have more information.
Hola Gary, Julián Burgos de AS. El Atlético de Madrid es un equipo que le cuesta más jugar cuando el rival le da el balón, se siente más a gusto cuando defiende y sale al contraataque, se vio el sábado pasado contra el Real Madrid. Quizás sea una forma de jugarle esta, darle un poco el balón y la responsabilidad al Atlético de Madrid.
But it's certainly a way of thinking about the game. If I play like that, will you criticise me? Because when I played like that against Barcelona, you all said it was the wrong tactic. No, I think it is definitely a way of thinking. I think this type of team, I've watched them a lot over these last 2 or 3 years. I've done many of their Champions League games. Obviously I've watched many games on television as well when I was back in England, and I've seen obviously many games whilst I've been here on television. But I've also been live at a lot of Atlético Madrid games for the last 2 years in the Champions League, and I know the team very well. I also know what their strengths are and where they're very competent. And I agree with you, there is a feeling that they're better when they're counter-attacking, but I also think they play some decent football as well. They've got some good players. But I think we'll wait for tomorrow to see what the tactic for the game will be in terms of us. I don't want to disclose that here, but like I say, it'll be interesting to see if I do use that tactic, whether you'll agree with it after the game.
Buenos días, Pello Bordo del periódico Levante. Una de esas ventajas del Atlético de Madrid para usted es Diego, el Cholo Simeone. ¿Cómo lo valora usted al entrenador del Atlético de Madrid? ¿Es un espejo en el que usted se mira?
So, I didn't understand the first part of the question. I understood the last bit, sorry. Sorry, just the first part, please.
Sí, que cómo valora usted a Simeone, el entrenador del Atlético de Madrid. Y es una de las grandes ventajas del Atlético de Madrid, si es uno de los méritos del equipo.
He obviously has done fantastically well over this last 2, 3, 4 years. He's built a very strong style of play, very much in his character, and I think that's all that a coach ever really wants from his team, is that they play in his character, that they mirror him on the pitch. And obviously at this moment in time, you know, I'm very new to this job here in terms of, you know, being here now 3 months. So from my point of view, you know, I think that we're getting better here at Valencia. I think we're starting to see, particularly in the last half an hour in the game against Malaga, I thought that we really did show some resilience. But I think it takes time to get to a point where you can really have a team play exactly as you want them. But he certainly has achieved that. He's achieved fantastic things at Atlético Madrid. He deserves great respect and credit for what he's done. He's done a wonderful job there, and obviously I respect every coach. But you know, he's been one of the top ones over this last 2 or 3 seasons. I was at the Champions League final between Atlético Madrid and Real Madrid, and they were so unlucky in the last few moments to concede that goal to go to extra time. It was so close for them in a season where they won the league as well. So no, it's been an incredible achievement for the last few years. But I think also I'm thinking about tomorrow night, about what we're going to do, and I know Atlético Madrid will think this is a very difficult game coming to the Mestalla, and we want to make it a difficult game for them.
Vamos a ir ya, por favor, con las 3 últimas preguntas.
Hola, Águeda de Antena 3 Televisión. Yo le quería preguntar por las fallas. Si Valencia ya está, la ciudad está preparándose para la fiesta, si usted las conocía y si le están comentando cómo tiene que aislar al equipo del ruido de la fiesta y si le apetece visitarlas, tener algún ninot o ir a alguna mascleta.
We were introduced, me and Philip were introduced to it this morning by Pepito, who threw a firework at us. Yeah, apparently the fireworks will even come into the training ground. I've seen some already this morning. No, I think that I want to experience this city. I've heard so much about it since I arrived. I've got family coming over next week as well, because obviously, you know, it's very famous, and the tradition of what happens here in the city. I'm looking forward to it. In terms of protecting the players from it, no, I don't want to protect the players from it. I want them to enjoy it. From my point of view, obviously, if we've got a game the next day, then, you know, they need to obviously behave and do the normal things. But no, I don't want them to stop living their lives. I'm a believer in the fact that the players should be part of what the city's culture is, and certainly I should as a coach, and that I will be entering into the festivities at certain points. I'm not quite sure how and when, but I certainly will be, because I want to see it myself.
Mr. Hassan Salem de Bein Sport, me gustaría preguntarle qué es lo que le preocupa de este Atlético Madrid, su mejor defensa o el despertar del Atlético, sobre todo últimamente de cara al gol, y si va a ser el partido de mañana una batalla de medio campo. Gracias.
I think every time you watch Atlético Madrid, you know it's going to be a battle, and that's not being disrespectful, it's actually being complimentary. I would want every single time a team plays Valencia it to be a battle as well, and a fight, and it'd be difficult to play against. So you know what you're going to get against Atlético Madrid. A very compact team, a very aggressive team. When they win the ball back, they play quickly, they have good players, and they attack quickly. Very resilient, got a good, obviously, structure in their defence. So there are teams, it's not new. You know, this type of team have existed for the last 10-15 years. If you go back to, you know, Saki's Milan team, or certain teams that have played in England, even you could argue the Rafa Benitez Liverpool team was similar to the way in which Atlético Madrid are now. These types of teams are not new, but when you get this type of togetherness and spirit in a group of players who work for each other under one idea, it can be powerful. I think even Villarreal have a very similar idea in Spain. So from my point of view, it's not a new way of playing, but it's a very, it has been a successful way of playing. It can be difficult to play against, but you have to make sure that you do the right things. I think that they want you to try and play in a certain way, and we have to make sure tomorrow we don't play into the traps that they want to set us. Because this type of team, there have been this type of team before. It's not a new type of team, this.
Ojalá silla, por favor, para la última pregunta.
Mister, buenas, cronicalero de las provincias. Me gustaría saber, el partido del jueves, que es muy importante contra el Athletic, si de alguna manera le puede condicionar para sacar el 11 mañana o para realizar la convocatoria.
No. Tomorrow I will play in the team that I believe is the absolute best team that I can play in this match. We then have to look at Bilbao on Thursday because we have Levante next Sunday at 12 o'clock kickoff. So we have a very short time between the Thursday game and the Sunday game. So I think that's where I will start to look at potentially how we look at picking the best two teams for those two matches. But tomorrow, because we've had a good break between Wednesday and Sunday, and we have now a good break between Sunday and Thursday, I think tomorrow will just be about picking the best team. I won't be trying to be clever in my team selection tomorrow. It will be, I'll be giving everything out on the pitch, putting everything out on the pitch that I possibly can in terms of the players that I believe are best for this match, knowing we have some rest before Thursday. And then obviously, like I said, the game, the distance between Bilbao and the Levante is very short, very, very short. It's happened to us a few times this, where we have, I think, a Saturday 12 o'clock kickoff as well, or an early kickoff on a Saturday. So that's where we might have to think about it, but no, I'm not conditioning the team tomorrow in thinking about Bilbao. Far from it, in fact.
Bueno, muchas gracias como siempre a todos. Buenos días.